and good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to all of you on today's session, whose topic is Future of Corporate Trainings, AI, and Beyond. I am Aisha Mishra, and I'll be your host for this evening. As we all know, that corporate trainings is no longer limited to just compliance modules or classroom sessions that we used to have earlier. It's more about the strategic functions now, like driving performance, culture, and business growth. And now, with AI and emerging technologies in the mix, the way we design, deliver, and experience learning is undergoing a major shift. And to help us navigate this transformation, we are joined with Liaquat Pasha today, a highly respected L&D leader with over 15 years of experience in corporate training, leadership development, and capability building. Hello, Mr. Pasha. I have welcomed you to this session today.
Thank you, Ayushi. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And as you rightly said, everything is around us is being changed and challenged now. So corporate training is also no different. So we are also changing the way we are learning, and we are also so that we also have to change how we train our employees at workplace. So I think that's a very good topic, and thank you so much for inviting me to speak on this.
Mr. Sheikh Pasha is a seasoned learning and development professional with over 15 years of experience in corporate HR, training, and instructional design. Having worked across India, the Middle East, and the USA with organizations in IT, software development, and services, he brings a global perspective on workplace learning. Pasha has led organizations' wide learning initiatives, leadership development programs, and behavioral skills training, and has consulted for both startups and large enterprises. He specializes in designing high impact training journeys, integrating adult learning principles with modern technology. Today, he helps professionals and aspiring trainers transition into impactful corporate training roles through his initiative, Corporate Trainer Launchpad, and works with companies to build future-ready L&D strategies. Well, Mr. Pasha, it's very great to have you with us today. On behalf of my whole team of Education Nest, I welcome you again on this webinar.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you so much for that kind introduction. I think, yeah, as you mentioned, it's most invited, not just for your audience, but in the space of training and development, everyone wants to know how AI is changing the game.
So, without further ado, I'll let you handle this session and to my lovely audiences who are waiting to learn more.
Sure. Thank you. So, as Aishi has mentioned, we will kickstart today's session on the future of corporate training. We'll not just look at AI, but beyond AI, how is it this game of entire corporate training is changing, and then how we as corporate professionals can learn and adopt quickly so that we don't stay behind the crowd, right? So let's get started. So what I'm going to cover in the next 45 minutes to 60 minutes is that how the training function, corporate training function, has evolved in the last few years. What used to be the past? I mean, like Aisha mentioned, it's been my 15 years into corporate training space. So I'm going to mention a couple of things about how it was and how it is currently, how we are trying to adopt with and trying to collect all our pieces together in terms of using AI to generate or to create customized learning programs, and what is the future. Can we predict the future? How is it going to be given the things, given the pace at which the things are changing around us, right? So second, we'll also look at AI's impact on learning and development space, how AI is changing right from needs analysis to delivery of training and evaluation of impact, and then how what AI can't replace, right? So there are a lot of things. We're also interested to know how AI will impact our jobs. So training function is also changing the way we is also being affected by AI. So how the roles are going to be different in the future. We'll look at how what AI can replace and what AI cannot, and future ready trainer roles and skills. This will be an interesting topic for those who want to transition into corporate training or who are into other roles but want to try what is corporate training all about. I'm going to share my views on how the roles are going to change in the future, as per my understanding. So preparing organizations for the shift, the how organizations need to be ready for this change, and what are the action steps for trainers and L&D leaders? So this is the last thing I want to leave with, because these people are from my fraternity. So what is that message I have for them? How can they get ready for this shift? So, and towards the end, we'll have some time for question and answers as well. So let's get started. This is how training function itself has evolved in the last couple of years, right? In the past, it used to be just instructor-led training programs. The trainer dominated. Trainer stands and conveys the knowledge, shares the knowledge in the form of presentations, booklets, and then they stand in front of the audiences and deliver the presentation. And it used to be one size fits all. There was nothing like we have to do a proper needs analysis, or there was nothing called. So there used to be some topics, and we used to invite everyone to attend this program, and they attend and give the feedback towards the end of the program. That used to be how training used to happen in the past. So static content was not personalized to the extent where the examples and the content is helping to the audiences to do their jobs efficiently, right? So that was the past. Everyone and anyone can deliver any training programs to anybody basically. So it was topic and trainer centric. Presently, it is virtual and blended after COVID. Everybody has adopted to work, in a hybrid environment. So now we also have to deliver our training programs in a hybrid manner. So it is not going to be classroom anymore. People cannot come and attend and meet at one place. So we are now doing things virtually plus blended learning programs, in which we have an element of self-paced learning programs, and we have some live online training programs like this where instructor is leading the learners, and there is also an element of reading and post-training things that we do. And then modular and mobile is the game, right? I know any learning management system or learning experience system, people are consuming a lot of content on mobile. So we have to take the learning content to also on their mobile, right? That's what we are doing. One big shift that has happened in the last couple of years is that micro learning has emerged to be one of the go-to ways of delivering content just in time, right? Whenever they need. For example, if we are delivering training program to sales account executives, we have to deliver in a bite-sized 5 to 10 minutes when they need it. For example, if they're going to meet the customer, before they're going to meet the customer, what is that they need, and can we deliver that in one short video, like 5 to 10 minutes in a mobile? Could be through Slack or Teams channel, or it could be on a WhatsApp also. So what is the future? Now, future we have already started adopting is that personalized learning, right? So giving exactly what the learners need. So AI has given us, that is the AI advantage. AI has given us the data which we can make decisions about learners, what the learners needs, learner profile is, learners problems and challenges are, so that we can design our programs exactly as per what our learners need. So it's hyper personalization that is happening right now. If you look at tools like LinkedIn Learning and all the LXPs in the market, right? They personalize the content based on the role of the employee, based on experience, years of experience, and based on what the problem currently the individual is facing, and also based on the performance appraisals, what is that competencies that person wants to build or the manager wants the person to build. So AI is now able to personalize and provide that exactly what the individual employee needs at the right time. That is one. And second is immersive learning experiences. So now everything is simulation based, right? AI is giving us an opportunity to simulate different roles, and we can interact with those roles as if we are interacting with a real individual, right? So for example, a conversation between a customer care executive and a customer. So AI can play the role of a customer and ask all kinds of questions to the customer care executive, and to check if their knowledge and they're doing they're following the process, right? So, and then it is adaptive and predictive, and AI curated experiences are everywhere. So it's now Netflix of learning is happening around us. So that's how the game is changing. The corporate training is evolving at a very faster pace. And what in the next couple of slides, I'm going to share with you my experiences of how I have used AI in my teams, in my organizations where I work for, and how it is already driving the change. So let's look at what's driving this shift. So one, as I mentioned, it's a remote and hybrid workforce. So people are now sitting sitting in different places and working. So we have to design learning people where they don't even come to offices. There's no classroom happening. So how do we do that. And then the Gen Z taking over the places. They are all tech savvy, and they brought up using social media extensively, right? So they know the nitty gritties of how technology works. So now we have to go where they are, right? So we how can we deliver content which is just like a social media. They're watching some reel or they're watching a YouTube video, right? It has to be very interesting, animated, personalized, and very relevant to what they do, what they work at. So because that now attention span has become a bigger challenge, and people are now going to look for, is this really something relevant to me, or should I just skip watching this? So that's why we have to design that way, demand for faster and more relevant learning. So now knowledge is available at the tip of the finger, right? So we can just interact with generative AIs and get to learn a lot of things which used to take for months, and now it just takes for about weeks to get started on something, right? So that's why we have to also create content and deliver programs at a very faster pace. And the rise of AI, LXPs, and immersive tech, as I mentioned, learning experience platforms are doing great job of providing learner centric programs which the learner needs at the right time, in the right way. I mean, if the learner wants to read, they provide content in the form of books. If the learner wants to listen, they provide the content in the form of podcast. And if the learner wants to watch videos like this, then they provide the content in the form of videos. And if the learner wants to just do and learn it, and there are a lot of simulations that we can design now using AI, which is more customized to the learner's needs. And then learning in the flow of work has already been there, and last through 2 3 4 years it's been increasing. And people, we when employees don't come for training, we go to employees, right? So how do we ensure that learning is not separated from their day-to-day work, and we provide that learning, bite-sized learning, could be just 5 to 10 minutes, it just in time when they need it while they are doing it. For example, an employee wants to conduct a performance review of the team members, so we can quickly give them just before the meeting a 5 minutes video to watch on their team's channel, like their LXP, which is integrated on their teams. So they can just watch and get a hang of how to conduct a performance review in your company, right? What are the step-by-step ways of asking some open-ended questions? How do you give feedback, just constructive? How do you rate your teammate based on your inputs and based on the input shared by the candidate? So it can be just a short, but just in time, in the flow of work, while when they need it. So because now the psychic is like, I want to learn only when I need it, right? Just before when I'm going to perform the task. So training is moving now from one time event to continuous experiences, and I'll talk about this statement more in the next slide. So how AI is reshaping corporate training. So this is a very important slide for the L&D professionals, right? So I'm talking to an L&D professional today and the L&D professional 4 years ago. The speed at which we can design and deliver training programs now is like never before. So I mean, what used to take for about 2 months, 3 months, now it can be designed and launched in 2 to 3 weeks. And it is more personalized, more relevant, and more effective and more interactive, right? It's because AI has given us that advantage. So the content generation, generative models like ChatGPT and Gemini are already taking the game to the next level. The way you design your programs, as long as you know what exactly you want, who are your target audiences, what problems you're trying to solve, and what are the competences you're trying to build, the generative AIs can give you the kind of behaviors. If you can give them the context, like what kind of behaviors, how do you want to design the program, and AI can help you and become your assistant actually when designing and delivering the training program. So personalizations engines, so that's another mention I've mentioned. AI chatbots as virtual coaches. LinkedIn coach, I'm sure you must have already explored how LinkedIn Learning is using something called AI coach, which can actually gauge your interests based on your experience and competencies and the profession you are in, and then it gives you something that, and you can have just a conversation on what is your learning goal, what do you want to become, where do you want to see yourself, and it gives you the content that is required for you to upskill yourself. And the fourth thing, which is very important, data right now is the fuel, right? is the fuel that will help us make decisions at a faster pace. Earlier, we used to do a lot of assessments manually, and it used to take a lot of time for us to arrive at a situation what exactly is the problem. But right now, you can get data about your learners, about the problems they have, the challenges they are facing at a very faster pace. So that's like, for example, in LXP can give you the data about what most of the learners want to consume, what most of your employees are interested in learning, what most of your employees are, you know, already consuming content from different sources that are available online, so that you can check and predict, and you can design your programs, your learning programs, just the way your learners want, just the way your employees want. So gamification is the key, right? So how do you give them the badges? How do you give them? How do you reward them for whether it is, whether it is some coins or some names and some recognitions. It's quick and very easy now, because learners also want to get appreciated for the efforts that they put in while learning, right? So the appreciation is high and very quick now. So, as I said, training is now moving from one-time events to continuous experiences. So it's no more like once in a month you attend a training program and then you give a feedback and that's done. Today, we learners we can design before pre-training material based on the problems that we have identified and the learner needs that we have seen, and then we can design programs that we can deliver it exactly the way learners want to see it and the problems that learners have it, and then post-training support. So once the training is over, what kind of support we can give to the learners once they are back to their work, and how can we motivate them and reinsist the behaviors that we want them to develop on the job, right? So that all can happen using AI, and we can also measure and track their progress at a very faster pace and transforming. I wanted to give you quick example of what I have done recently. Very exciting thing. I've worked with multiple tech companies, and I have had the opportunity of designing their onboarding and ramp up program. So I also got a chance to work in Middle East, where I had chance of developing an onboarding and induction program for various industries. I was part of this center of excellence, and then a lot of the programs were happening instructional led, hotels, and a lot of travel had to happen. People coming from different places. But now, if you can see with the user power of AI, we can actually design and launch an total onboarding and ramp up program, and maybe in just 3 weeks, right? If you have a thorough understanding of who the end user is, what problems are you going to solve, and what content you're going to deliver, what behaviors are you expecting from them, it's like 2x faster using the power of AI. Now you have AI video development like Synthesia can help you design quick learning videos, and you have tools which can help you design whole presentations and deliver. Also the voice AI voice generators can actually help you design and develop those programs. So, and no more need of going to a studio and having a trainer speak and we record those, and then it used to take a lot of time for editing and publishing, and a lot of back and forth in terms of checking the feedback from the stakeholders if we are going on the right track. But right now, it's like you give what exactly you need to video generative models, text generative models, and image generative models, and they do the job. And all you need is clarity of what do you want to achieve, whom are you creating this for, what problems are you trying to solve. So AI for welcome videos, GPT for scenario building, feedback analytics using AI dashboards. So this is the same. This is exactly what I have done for one of my clients recently when I was tasked to design an onboarding program. All I had was just 2 weeks, and all they gave me is that here is the audience profile and here is the content we have, and it was quickly done using all AI tools, using Synthesia, ChatGPT, Gemini, and some interactive tools. And then we use simulated environment and on one of the leading LXPs, and that was all we needed to launch an onboarding program. So what used to take 3 weeks now takes only 3 days with AI, right? So that's one thing I would like to quickly say here is all L&D professionals now. It's like the speed at which we can now create and design and deliver programs is like amazing and never before, right? As long as you have the clarity of what you want to achieve. So this is the very interesting slide. Is AI going to, going to replace us? Is it all scary that all of, but like any other profession, AI is not going to replace us completely, but we have to also, the rules as L&D professionals or training professionals, corporate training professionals, is going to change in the near future, because a lot of things that we used to do for weeks and months now is being done by AI. So all we need to do is to shift to the place where AI cannot replace us. So there, let me talk about that empathy and emotional intelligence. So it begins even before you start designing a learning program, right? So as a learning and development professional, as a corporate trainer, you don't just deliver training program, you don't just design the training content, which now, designing part maybe AI can take up to some extent, like that can give you the content, maybe not perfect, but to 30 to 40% of what human can do. But empathy and emotional intelligence, trying to understand, trying to take the shoes of your audiences, larger audiences, what problems they are facing, is that a training problem? Can training solve that problem? If yes, what are those competencies they are trying to build, and what are the behaviors that we require for them to have? So that something is AI cannot do, because it is us as humans to understand the human mindset and their challenges, and so that we can personalize what we want to do. Real-time feedback and facilitation is something which is irreplaceable. We as humans have that advantage to feel how this feel, and design for what problems they are having, the scenarios, the scripts, everything AI can do. But we are the ones who can deliver that more effectively by connecting with our learners at a deeper level, right? Coaching and mentoring still is a human centric, it's more of a learner centric. People want to have one-on-one conversation with an individual who has learned, mentored, and has seen what they want to see or what they are struggling with. Deep storytelling and culture building is also one of the aspects I think AI is not going to replace. And group dynamics and trust is also another area which we can, AI can inform us, but humans can transform. So we can take the help of AI to do all these things, but AI definitely cannot facilitate as effectively as us. AI cannot design if you do not have that empathy towards your learners and understand and listen deeply to your learners, like what their exact issues or problems are. Then go ahead and create whatever you want to create with the use of AI. That's how the magic is going to happen. So changing role of corporate trainers, right? How our roles as corporate trainers are changing now. Old role used to be like, we just research the content, we understand what the topic is, what who the audiences are, and what we are trying to achieve here, and deliver that content, design and deliver that content. And we used to be called as subject matter experts, right? He is a soft skills trainer, or she is a posh training expert, he is a leadership development expert. So we used to have subject matter expert, and we used to design and deliver those programs, so standalone and instructor led. No, the new role is curated experiences. Sometimes you don't have to deliver, you just have to curate. The content is already available in different various forms, whether it is books or audios, podcasts, and videos, simulations. All you need to do is to understand what exactly your audience needs, what problems you want to solve, and select and curate that from different contents. So now LMS can give you access to endless content. Now, how do you content management platforms basically? So how do you curate that experiences and design a program which is exactly relevant to your audiences? Strategic learning partners. We as corporate trainers are not just going to deliver the program. We have to see beyond that. How can we solve problems that our end users have? I mean, sometimes it's business stakeholders. What is that they are looking for? What business goals do they have? What business challenges do they have? What are their top three priorities, and how can we become their strategic partners in solving their problems or achieving their goals or building that competencies that they need now and also for the future? So that's the role of an L&D professional or a corporate trainer, beyond just designing and delivering training programs, becoming a strategic partner, doing exactly what they need at the right time. AI assisted enablers. So we have to use AI for content creation, content design, content research, even for the training need analysis and training evaluation as well. AI is going to be the key player in doing all these things at a faster pace, when we need it and how we needed it, right? So we have to be more, we have to move more from a trainer instructor role to a coach, facilitator, and a data user. That's how our role is changing. Look at now, people don't want to listen to boring lectures. People don't want to listen to a trainer for about 1 hour or 2 hours. People want to do and learn it. People want to discover themselves the challenges that they are facing, the solutions for the problems that they have. They want to experience themselves and they want to find it and discover themselves. Our job as training professionals is to facilitate the discussion, ask the relevant questions, ask open-ended questions, create an experience where they come out, they speak out, and they find solutions for the problems that they have. So there is a scope, huge scope for corporate trainers to design such experiences which are very experiential, activity based, scenario based, situation based, and then putting people in the places that they can learn and discover themselves the solutions that we are trying to. So enough of telling it, it's like showing it and making them do it. That's what today's learners need. So our job as trainers, we should be ready to be coaches, facilitators, and data users, and that's how we can add value to our learners, because learners want us to listen to them. Learners want us to understand their preferences, preferred way of learning, the challenges, and create something that solves that problem, that helps them achieve the goals that they are lying to head. That's how the new roles are going to be. Gone are the days where we have to stand and deliver 2 days, 3 days training programs in a classroom type of an environment, because nobody has time for that right now. And second, everybody wants to learn things very quickly, things that really matter, and things that can help them upskill themselves. So that's how our role as corporate trainers is changing. So, future ready trainer skills. So if you want to step into the space of corporate training, or if you're already in corporate training space or L&D professional, if you're watching this video after it is recorded, here are the skills that you need to develop. If you already have, or if you want to get into the space of corporate training, these are irreplaceable skills right now in 2025. One is AI literacy. You need to learn how AI can help you understand understand your audiences, do the training need analysis and training needs identification based on the business you are in, the client you are working for, and the learners you are going to define. What is the profile? How AI can help you design customized learning programs. Then how AI can help you design the program modules, content in the form of videos, audios, and images. So how personalized it can become, that is one. And then you should also learn how to use technologies like learning experience platforms, learning management systems, which can help you personalize the learning journeys for your audiences. So give them role based learning, based on their role, what trainings would be more relevant for them, based on the situation they are in, the project stage they are in. You can create and customized programs to the role based employees wherever they are, whatever they need, and then deliver them when they need it, where they need it, and how they want to consume it, right? What is their preferred way of learning, and do it in the way that they want to learn. The second is instructional design mindset. Design is going to stay here for a long time, because without design your facilitation become obsolete. So it is where the real magic happens. If you do not know the best practices of designing impactful learning programs, like the 6 Ds of breakthrough learning, right? The second D says design the complete experience. How do you not just design a presentation and deliver it for that event, but how do you design the entire learning journey, understanding the needs and the problems that you are trying to solve? What is the pre-training content that you can give to your learners? How do you define and design the program that you want to deliver? And how do you give them a support after the training is over? And how do you document the results when they are performing on the job? And how do you conduct periodical assessments or 360 feedbacks, or some kind of knowledge assessments to track if people are applying exactly what you have taught during the training program? And then how do you take 30, 60, 90 days feedback to see if your training investment is giving you any outcomes? So that's how the design is. It has to be there, and there has to be a design mindset for you as a training professional. Data driven decision making. So everything is now data. Your bosses are going to ask you not just how many programs have you conducted, but they're going to ask you some more important questions like how did that impact their jobs, how did they impact the businesses, how did that impact the increase in sale, decrease in customer complaints, how did that increase in the customer satisfaction scores. Everything about training is now going to be measured in terms of numbers. So we have to have all those numbers and handy. How do you track, how do you measure, and how do you publish, and how do you tell stories using that data is what is going to take the front seat as for learning and development professionals. So content development, as I told you, is now very fast, very easy. All that you need is what do you want exactly, how do you want to create it. Is it video, audio, images, speeches, content, readable material, scenarios, scripts, everything now is can be done using AI. So that's something which is changing the game, because now we can create and generate content in hours. So that is something that we can give it to our audiences when they need it exactly. It's not going to take time. Earlier it used to be like, we used to collect, gather training program data, training program information, then look for the content, research the content, design the content, and then go to the vendor or get the content developed, and then come and upload it on LMS and deliver it. So it used to take almost 3 to 4 months, and by then learners would have already learned it the way, or they would have found a way to solve that problem. So now it's very fast. You want to deliver a training program tomorrow to a set of managers in your organization, you can get that done today sitting working with AI. So you want to deliver a leadership training program in the next month, you can start working on it from today using the power of AI. So agile content development, community building, and coaching is the key here. It's now taking the front seat because learners want more than just training. So we give them the support that they need in the form of coaching and communities. So, how organizations can prepare for this future? Yeah. So, shift from LMS to LXP. That's the first thing that I would say, because today's learners want personalization. Maybe they want to learn exactly what they need when they need it, right? So it has to be, and how they need it as well. So you have to have systems that can help your learners choose from what is available. So they can choose from the courses that are books that are available. Is it internal content or external content delivered by a subject matter expert available internally, or can I request for a coaching or mentoring program? So different ways and forms of learning has to be available for your learners. So shift your mindset just from uploading courses on learning management system and giving it to them, because that's not going to work. People now would like to choose, they want to have the control, like they pick up Netflix and want to choose what they want to watch. Similarly, they want to go through their learning experience platform and choose what they want to learn. Embed AI into learning workflows, redesign roles. So our roles are going to be different. As I told you, it's not going to be just like a trainer job, training delivery person. It should be digital facilitator, L&D analyst. No, few more roles that will add, like AI training designer. So there will be a lot of new roles which will get added to this profession as we progress and start building something for the future. So build a culture of continuous learning. This is very, very important. So do not just design for the program and event program, design for the whole journey. And I don't know how what they are going to do before the training, after the training, and how it is going to help them perform their jobs more effectively. That's what you should keep in your mind, rather than just delivering a training program and getting a feedback. So that's, we have to go beyond that. So create the culture of continuous learning. More and more organizations are looking for ways and means to design such programs which are continuous, ongoing, and helping professionals to do their job in a better way. So make learning a strategic business function. So all organizations should invest. I know all organizations are already investing huge in terms of upskilling their employees. And having said that, they are investing a lot on learning management systems, training programs, and facilitation programs. So organizations should invest in this.
Hello everyone. I guess there is a little technical error. The screen has frozen, so the expert will be there in 2-3 minutes. Meanwhile, I'll request you all to start posting your questions in the live segment. And as our expert
Hi.
has joined again, he'll take over the session again. And meanwhile, you still guys start posting your sessions in the live chat, and we'll start taking them up one by one. Over to you, sir. Now.
Sure. So can I continue, Aish?
Yeah, of course.
Sure. So I was talking about how do you make learning as a strategic business function. So we are not just there to deliver training programs. Keep in mind that we as L&D professionals or expect that L&D function should be the business partner. We partner with the businesses to deliver solutions that they exactly need and solve their problems, and we are there to make them achieve their goals. So that's how organizations should be prepared for this. And last but not the least, AI won't replace us trainers, okay? But trainers who use AI will replace us, right? That's why it's important that we start using AI, right from training and analysis to designing the programs, developing the content, and delivering the training programs, which is AI enabled. Because everybody is using AI, we should not stay behind. We should also start using it. Otherwise, trainers who use AI will definitely replace us. So with that, I have come to the conclusion. I would be happy to take any questions if you have, and also we can also connect on LinkedIn for any support and help you would need in the space of learning and development. And thank you, Aishi.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this wonderful session. I would request you to stop presenting your slide and then we will move ahead with the questions which our audiences have already posted in the live segment. Well, thank you for this
Sure.
wonderful session that we had. So, shall we move ahead with the questions, sir?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Okay. So, the first question is, how can AI make learning more personalized?
That's a good question. So AI can actually help us and understand our audiences better, what their needs are, what their emotions are, what their preferred way of learning. Right? We all learn in different ways. Some of us want to read and learn. Some of us want to listen and learn. Some of us want to watch and learn, watch videos and learn. Some of us want to attend programs and do it in a simulated environment and learn. So today, AI can give us, based on the patterns a learner is learning in an organization, what is their preferred way of learning, what is the content they have consumed in the last few weeks, last few days, and then it can give and suggest recommendations based on their choice. So we as learning professionals can actually gather inputs based on our learners activity on learning management platforms and learning experience platform. What content are they consuming, what type of preferred way they want to learn, and then we can categorize them into groups, maybe by age group or by role or by teams, and personalized our approach to them. Yeah.
All right, so let's take another question. It says, how do we balance the need for immersive tech with budget and accessibility constraints?
Uh, can you repeat the question again, Aishi?
All right, it says, how do we balance the need for immersive tech with budget and accessibility constraints?
All right. So these AR and VR designs of learning have already started being more accessible to us. Take the example of Sora, right? So it's already accessible to all of us. So as we mature and we start using these tools more, I think it will we will have these at a better budgetary which suits us. Because see, what other options do you have to design such simulated environments? No, there's no other option. These are more immersive learning experiences which can be done at a very lesser price right now what it used to be. It used to be very expensive to purchase such tech. And what I recommend for the one who is asking this question is to start with something very small. Start using the tech which is already available and then scale it from there. Get the taste of that to the organization. Let the learners feel it and then scale it from there.
All right, I guess you got your answer. And the next question is, I guess, very relevant in the current arena of trainings or be it working environment is how can corporates make virtual learning more engaged?
How can corporates make virtual model more engaged?
Virtual learning more engaged.
Okay, so yeah, I think almost 50 to 70% of the learning has become already virtual. So
Yes.
it's in the form of self-paced and live online. So I would say to engage your learners more is to create the whole experience, not just the content. So content is readily available. People can go and watch a YouTube video as well to learn something. But how do you make the whole experience of the learner? For example, how do you ensure there's a gamification element at the beginning of the program? Like for example, your she wants to learn prompt engineering. She would start when she enrolls into the program. She gets an email saying, "Congratulations, you're on a way to improve your prompt engineering skills." And then your game starts now. At each step, you will have some challenge, right? When you complete that, you will get some points, and you can use those points to redeem something, right? You give them some gamified elements, and then you send them reminders about the progress of that learning. Hey Aishi, this week you had you had really gone up in terms of completing your learning target. You have spent more than your usual time, or you have spent less than your usual time. Sending automated reminders, sending automated emails saying that you have surpassed your learning target. And then towards the end, creating that feeling of community where people can interact with like-minded. For example, I'm also learning prompt engineering and you also learning prompt engineering. We can talk about how our progress is. We can run some live discussions where people can talk to each other. So that's how the engagement happens. So there's something called active learning, there's something called passive learning. Passive learning is like you're just consuming content, video after video, audio. So but active learning is we are interacting with people, you're interacting with the system, you are getting reminded of your progress, and you're getting rewarded for your progress. So that's how you can engage.
Okay. So the next question is, what skills should organization focus on while being relevant for upcoming 5 to 10 years?
Sorry, can you repeat the last point you said?
Yeah. It said, what skills should organizations focus on for being relevant for upcoming 5 to 10 years?
Okay, upcoming, what did you say? Upcoming.
5 to 10 years. Like, what are the skills that organizations should focus so that in the upcoming 5 to 10 years of their corporate career, they'll be relevant in the field?
Okay, digital literacy is the key. How do we enable our people to continuously learn and evolve in the space of tech, and how do we leverage the tech to our advantage? That is number one skill which we'll have. The second is definitely on the softer part, leadership and emotional intelligence are still very relevant in today's day and age, where there's a huge gap between the employees who are experienced and people, new generation getting into the workspace. There's a lot of need there for leadership and emotional intelligence. And the data skills is also, data is going to be relevant in the coming future as well. That's how going to define how do we make decisions faster, create solutions for our customers at a very fast pace. Yeah.
Okay. So the another question is, what are some early signs that an organization is future ready in terms of L&D?
Well, for L&D is to ensure that you have a system in place to track your learners' preferences, your learners' needs, your learners' problems, and your learners' preferred way of learning. Systems are very important. Tech is going to play an important role because it will help you get your job done faster. Rather than sending a form to identify the training needs, what trainings do you want? It's better you use a tech which people can just go and play around. And then it's just like signing up for a social media website, right? Social media ask you certain questions when you're signing up your email, and create a password, and then it will ask you what type of content you're interested in, and you choose something like celebrity or Bollywood, and then it gives starts giving you the content that you need, right?
Yeah.
And then everything around you is surrounded by the content that you have chosen. Similarly, we have to have a tech in place to find learning preferences of the audiences. What skills do they want to learn? what is their current role, what is their next target role, what problems are they trying to solve using the LMS. Even at the time of onboarding itself, we can get a lot of insights. So that's tech is number one, future ready thing. Second is learner centered design. You have to design keeping the learner in the center. You have to ensure that you are addressing your learner's problems and needs, not what you want to train, but what they need.
Okay. So the other question is, which AI tools or platforms are for L&D professionals, like specially designed for L&D professionals?
Well, so I'm using Articulate 360, which is AI enabled now, and you can use Synthesia for video production. It's very fast, quick. It will help you immediately create content in the form of videos. And there are some podcast audio tools which can help you create content at a faster pace. Now you can upload a PPT and ask it to generate a video. That is another excellent feature Synthesia and like Sora kind of tools have. So these are the tools which are helping you generate the content in a very faster pace. So for content generation, AI is now taking the center stage. Yeah.
I guess you have given the examples of some wonderful AI tools that I guess all of my audiences, because mostly our audiences are corporate professionals, so they can use them very well for their ease of doing their daily work or daily targets. So let's take
Yeah.
another question. It says, how do immersive technologies like VR, AR change learner engagement compared to traditional methods?
Well, so a traditional method of teaching people, especially let's look at something like behavioral training, or let's look at something like how does one sell, how does one perform, how does one code. These things used to happen in a theoretical manner, one person standing and delivering these training programs, right? Now, in a simulated environment where it is safe and secure for the learner to practice it and fail it as many times as possible until they get it right. AR and VR has that simulated environment, which is exactly the mirror of your job, your work life, your what you will do in your work, right? So that way, learners get the access to practice, fail as many times as possible, and master the skill until they get better at that.
Okay. So let's take another question. It's, what are few mistakes that companies do while appointing new training tech?
Oh, so that's a good question. So we should never go first choose the tech and then try to adopt it in the organization. So that is the biggest mistake people do. Like they interact with some vendors and they sell some service and a product and they buy it and then start adopting it in the audiences. Rather than that, I always recommend doing a need analysis of the company and see what we need for the nature of the company. If it is a tech company, and this is the product company or service company. If it is service company, who are your customers and what skills do your people need for that to develop, and then purchase something or invest in something which makes sense to you and your business rather than just buying something and then trying to adopt it, which is the wrong approach. Then first do the analysis and then try and go and buy the technology. So that is one approach. And second is always have a trial period. So all tech companies now give you a trial access, like they give you 30 days access to their content, so you can always try and test what is working well for your organization and for your employees, and then make the decision from there.
All right. Another question is small term courses more effective than the longer ones?
Absolutely. So now the generation wants to learn something very quick, and
Yeah.
the content needs to be relevant, and the need for achievement is also very fast. They want to get certified immediately, badges, and they want to compete. So they want to learn and move fast. So that's why shorter is better. Longer courses are not going to work. For Generation Z especially.
I heard that while you were giving the presentation also, that now generations like Gen Zs, what we call today, so they are very much into learning everything very quickly, and they are good at adaptive also. They learn things very well. They are so much into AI and everything. So I guess the patience level is a little low. So we should focus on something that's make them quick learning and a very fast pace.
Correct.
Thank you for
Yep.
answering that.
Yep.
So the another question is AI ready to support behavioral or soft skill training effectively? This is a very interesting one.
Yeah, it is very interesting question. So AI is not ready yet to deliver human skills. Soft skills do need you to feel and have empathy for the audiences that whom you are delivering it, right? So AI can help you, can be a catalyst, can work like an intern for you to design the programs, design relevant activities to do the soft skills training part. I know most people get into corporate training through soft skills, way, but it is I would say AI is not there yet, but your role as a needs analysis person, your role as somebody who understands the problem of your audiences is more relevant. So AI can help you design experiences like scenarios, AI can give you situations, AI can give you activities to conduct, but it is your job to see if those activities are relevant to solve problems of your audiences, right?
Of course, like for behavioral trainings, you have to have a personality. You have to train how to have a personality. While AI can give you guidance on how you can do it to figure out properly like what is going right, what is going wrong, that is still in the human hands, I guess.
True,
So
true, true,
let's take
true.
another question. It's what are the two top skills new trainers should focus on in the next year?
Oh, so that's a good. So one is become a strategic partner. Learn to manage stakeholders, right? So that and there are sub skills under this, right? So you have to become a very good strategic partner, a go-to person for your business leaders. You have to be an active listener. You have to understand their problems, their goals, and then convert them into opportunities for you to design and deliver programs that can help them solve their problems and achieve their goals. That's the number one skill that you need. Tech, AI, everything takes second stage, are secondary, because you have to understand what makes sense and how you can contribute to the growth of that organization, the business function that you work for. That is number one. Number two is design. Design is very, very important. How do you not just become an event manager who conducts training events, but become a designer, learning designer who is the catalyst of helping people learn things, discover things, and facilitate that learning journey right from pre-training to post-training and feedback. So these are the two skills I think are very important for corporate trainers.
Okay, so this is the last question that I'll be taking, audiences. I'm sorry, I know you have a lot of questions. Keep posting them in the comment section as well, and me or Mr. Liaquat will get back to you on those questions. So I'll take this last question. It says, which area, I guess it's especially for you, which area excites you the most for the future of L&D? AI, immersive tech, or continuous learning?
Well, continuous learning, definitely. So AI and everything else are catalysts. So continuous learning is the culture that we are responsible as learning and development professionals to build. So we are responsible for the culture, right? Culture building. How do we develop that culture of continuous learning in the organization is the number one priority. Everything else should support that.
All right. Well, with this, I am coming to the end of this session, and I would like you to thank Mr. Liaquat for joining this session, for giving our audiences so much of knowledge on the corporate trainings related into AI and all other topics. On behalf of Education Nest, thank you again for associating with us.
Thank you, Ayushi. Thanks for inviting me to this session. It was really wonderful talking to you and your team. Huge congratulations to Education Next and all the best.
Okay. Before ending this session, I would like you to give my beautiful, lovely learners one advice for someone who is just starting their career in the corporate section.
I think that's the best way to end the session. So, if you are trying to get into corporate training, one thing you should start thinking is, try to understand the whole training as a function. Do not just limit yourself to one area of it, like training designer or L&D specialist or soft skills trainer. Let's say, do not limit yourself to one area of corporate training. Understand the whole function as a whole, what its value, how we can impact businesses, how we can help them get more profits, solve their problems. So do not limit yourself to only one area. That's the one advice I would like to give to who are aspiring to be trainers. Because if you go with the lens of I want to become a soft skills trainer, you may not be able to connect with them, relate with them, and your work will not see the value that they want to take from you. That's why please look at the whole picture of training function as a function, and then finally do what you want to do to align that and to achieve that goal. So that's the one piece of advice. Thanks for asking that question, Aish.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I would like to thank everyone for joining us for this wonderful session today. We hope that you gained valuable insights into how AI is shaping corporate training, and more importantly, how we as a trainers, HR leaders, or with L&D professionals can involve to meet tomorrow's challenges that are coming our way. And a huge thank you to Mr. Liaquat for showing us that while tools and platforms may change, the core of effective learning is empathy, curiosity, and human connection. That remains the same. So, with this, I would like you to thank everyone who has joined us today. And as you